Welcome to Girl Talk. We are filming today at Bella Domicile. Yes, and it's a gorgeous place to go. If you would like, we've talked about their website. We'll have to talk about that more maybe another time, but take a peek. If you can't get into their place, take a peek at their website. Last time we talked about contemporary design kitchens, and this time we're going traditional.
Yeah, and we're in a traditional kitchen.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting as we go to kind of see different things that each of us have different tastes, and I'm sure you at home too have different tastes, that we get to kind of get a sneak peek of what all those things are.
Well, sometimes you don't think you even like something until you see it, in person. You're like, that looks amazing. I never would have thought of that.
You might think traditional's not for me, and then you see it and you're like, wow, awesome.
Yeah, and their place is so huge here that you really get a good feel. Like, I feel really comfortable in this kitchen. Like, I can see myself and where you can place yourself.
I feel comfortable in the wine area.
The wine room.
I need that in my house.
Right, yes, don't we all? Fabulous. But yeah, some fun things to talk about.
Right. The other little thing I was going to add is, even though it's traditional style, I love how there's these sort of non-traditional little tweaks and add-ons that they surprise you with storage solutions. So that's always fun. But speaking of kitchens, we have Apple Wellness. Tim O'Brien from Apple Wellness will be here to help guide us with our questions.
Yes, and the kind of fun thing is we really get to ask whatever we want. So, I always have nutrition questions and supplement questions, and so I've got a couple stored up that I'm excited to ask him. And one thing we're going to start doing is, Tim is great. He's really an expert, and so is his whole staff. So if you have questions that you want to ask our expert, Tim at Apple Wellness, you can actually email him to me, Jessa, at cw57.tv. We'll ask him on air, and kind of fun. We'll see what else is out there for questions. Yeah, so we'll do that coming up and going forward.
Right, yeah, Tim really does love to educate and answer those kinds of questions, so send them on
he's
in.
He's so passionate about it, he just knows his stuff, and he's so excited about nutrition.
Right.
And it's amazing how much info he has stored in there. I mean, you can literally ask him anything and he knows. He just knows his stuff.
Right.
Good things.
Yep, good things. We also have Madison Geeks.
Yes, computer questions.
Computer questions, more important stuff.
Yeah, we're going to answer a lot of questions today, I think.
Who
Who doesn't have tech questions with all the technology? Oh my goodness.
My boyfriend just dumped, accidentally, a big glass of water over his computer.
Oh no.
No, water's the worst, too.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
Yeah. So. I don't know if you can see if we can bounce back from that. That might be a tough one. But lots of fun things. Valentine's Day is coming up. Kind of exciting.
Let me tie those two together. Valentine's Day. Maybe you don't have a Valentine. Apparently there's a new solution out there. So speaking of computer geeks and our devices, get this. It's called Invisible Girlfriend or Boyfriend. So apparently if you're looking to put on the whole show that you've got a guy or a girl, you can sign up for this monthly program where you'll receive, you receive like 100 text messages.
No way.
10 voicemails.
Ooh.
One handwritten note. So you join this website, you pick out the name of this person, what they look like, how old they are.
So someone actually leaves you a voicemail? It's not like, oh, let me take this.
No,
and it's just like, you're receiving a voicemail.
That's so sad.
I know. And the thing, that's like $25 a month.
Wow.
So yeah, you'd get a voicemail. I assume it's something like, hey babe, hope you're having a good day. I don't know.
Maybe some females or males would prefer this.
Less work than a real man.
Maybe they're too busy, but they still want to get some little I love yous here and there.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well that's interesting. If you need a few text messages sent your way, what the heck, right?
Oh yeah, you're in school and you're trying to make someone jealous.
Buy a dog.
There you go. To make someone jealous. Yeah. That might be your thing. Are they going to send you flowers and chocolates and things too?
Apparently it started out as a joke.
Is that the gold member status?
Yeah. No, it really did start out as a joke, and then they realized, hey, maybe there's kind of a market for this thing.
Someone shows up and proposes and you can slap them and say no. You jerk.
I don't know.
It's almost like taking the Facebook fake world of perception to like real life.
Yes, exactly. I agree. Well, we've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Tim O'Brien with Apple Wellness answering our nutrition questions. Thanks for joining us today on Girl Talk. Have you ever had one of those days when you're feeling a little sluggish, maybe some brain fog, stressed out? Ever have one of those days?
Occasionally.
How about one of those weeks? Our next guest says that nutrition is the key, or at least a very strong key component in resolving a lot of those issues and having better mental clarity, better health, and so forth. Our guest is Tim O'Brien from Apple Wellness. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome.
Tim's going to dig into our nutrition questions. So let's get started. Well, actually, all of us like to talk about anti-aging.
Always, yes.
Very important topic. So what can we do supplement-wise, nutrition-wise? What are some couple good bullet points for anti-aging?
Yeah, the single most powerful nutrient that we know of right now for anti-aging is a nutrient called Vita-PQQ.
Should we be taking notes?
Yes, I know. I was going to say, hit record on your DVR.
It literally recharges and regenerates, farms new mitochondria. So mitochondria, that's the battle, is as we age, we lose mitochondria. That's like the furnace or the powerhouse in our cells. So as we age, we start to lose those mitochondria and thus get things, fine lines, wrinkles, aging. And Vita-PQQ literally puts almost like a protective force field around your mitochondria.
Force field.
That's my favorite nutrient for anti-aging.
Yeah. Can you do supplement?
Yeah,
you do
it's actually a
supplement?
supplement called
Okay.
Is it a new
Vita-PQQ.
thing or it's just things that many people don't know about?
Yeah, so in the early 2000s it was discovered, but it's in all sorts of leafy greens and different nutrients. And CoQ10 was the most recent discovered
That I've heard of, yeah.
antioxidant in 1950s, where the most recent is Vita-PQQ, which is having a huge breakthrough in anti-aging.
The Q is the key.
Right. And yeah, so I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank
Today's
you.
a great day to change the world.
Come
I
on!
had to give it some props there.
Thank you.
So my question is, I took a class while at UW-Madison, and it was about health and nutrition and all that stuff, and they really highlighted that it's far worse to take too much of a certain vitamin. And I'm one of those people where I'm totally sold on labels. I'm like 10,000 million milligrams is so great.
Load up.
Right.
More is better,
So
yeah.
what if
Is
you
more
have,
better.
Right, what if you take a multivitamin, but then you also take vitamin D, and then you also take, B12 or whatever?
Yeah. So as a culture, the first thing to understand, to realize, is that we're super deficient. Our soil deficiency is a major issue. Our toxicity is a major issue from food, water, air. It's crazy. Just driving here, we're breathing in the fumes through the car in front of us, right? So we are deficient as a culture. So nutrition, we know, is the answer, but you're right, more is not always better. So you want to make sure you align yourself with experts, people that know the industry, not just listen to the latest Twitter or Facebook comments. Some nutrients like vitamin D, like vitamin A, are fat soluble. You can get too much. Now, in areas like vitamin D, for example, the daily value has been established at 400 IUs. Well, that's super low. I mean, they're finding babies need 400 IUs a day. So places like Life Extensions Institute for adults are recommending between 2,000 and 7,000 IUs a day. And so, yeah, we don't want 20 bazillion,
Right.
50,000 a day. We're going to build up a toxicity. But in the same sense, you gotta get educated a
Right.
bit, because it's swung so far the other way with nutrients like vitamin D that we want to get more than that.
And everybody's different, so I might be
Right.
a little lower than you and so forth.
Absolutely.
So my question is, once we figure out what we need and how much of it, and I know you guys have so many experts over there that can help answer those questions for us specifically, but I tend to do some of my shopping at the big box retailers.
Yeah.
So now I'm shopping vitamins with you and supplements with you.
Thank you.
But tell me the difference for big box retailer vitamin buying
Yeah.
versus supplements at a store like Apple Wellness.
Yeah, super good question. So there's 3 questions you want to ask before really buying any supplement. Where is that nutrient being sourced from? How is it being processed? And what's the delivery system? Is it actually absorbing, breaking down, getting to the small intestine where it absorbs? So some major brands out there in the big box stores, I won't pick on any of them, are heat compressed. Like a multivitamin, for example, 20,000 pounds of pressure per square inch makes it a little stone instead of a nutrient-filled pill, makes a little stone going through your body. Also, synthetics are often used in the big box stores. So like vitamin E, you're getting a DL-alpha vitamin E, which is synthetic. It actually can increase, for men, prostate cancer. It's like, oh my gosh, let's stay away from the synthetics. Let's move towards natural. So if you go to a more natural, mom and pop type store, but even some of your more healthy stores are organic stores and that are going to offer quite a bit more of your more natural nutrients.
Right.
So,
Well, that's the signal, right?
Gotta go. Take us out, Jeff.
All right, stick around. We're going to be back in just a moment with more Girl Talk after this. Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are filming at the gorgeous Bella Domicile once again in this beautiful setting, and we're going to ask some tech questions. We're going to ask the expert. We are joined by Kalal Cunningham from Madison Geeks. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad to have you. I don't know about you ladies, I have a million tech questions.
Well, yeah, everyone's got computers and iPads. And
I know,
everyone's online.
it's a technology world, and I'm going to pick your brain a little bit, so we'll jump right in. I have a laptop. I wish I was nice to it. I'm not that nice to it. I bring it everywhere. But tell me a little bit about what I can do to ensure that I'm handling my computer properly.
Well, laptops have hard drives in them, and most of these hard drives have spinning parts. So you crash these things down or you pick them up roughly, you're going to cause damage to that hard drive, and that's going to prevent your machine from properly saving data, reading data, or accessing your information. You can cause your machine to crash. So the biggest thing is making sure you shut it down or make sure it's sleeping before you tuck it away or you go traveling with it. Otherwise, you're going to be causing some damage to it.
Okay, so that's important.
So rather than just shutting it,
Well, you want
put
to
it in sleep mode?
Yeah,
or?
make sure you're putting it in sleep mode because some laptops will stay on even when the screen is down.
See, I just
Yeah.
assumed it put itself to sleep because it kind of has to wake up when I open it.
Right,
so
right.
good information.
Very good. Yeah.
Doing it wrong this whole time.
See, that's why we have you.
That's good. Well, one other big thing too is a lot of people will carry their laptops from the screen, so we get a lot of broken hinges, a lot of
Oh,
cracked,
yeah.
See
cracked
that,
screens.
yeah.
So make sure if you open it from the center and try to hold it from the base, and then again if you're moving around in any long distance, close it and travel with it securely.
Yeah, get
Gotcha.
that longevity out of our
got it,
devices.
you got
Yeah, absolutely.
So is it true that I should have it cleaned by a professional on a regular basis or just when I get that blue screen?
I would definitely say, your computer's no different than your car, getting spring cleaning in your home. You need to, whether it's from a professional or not, you need to really kind of be proactive with keeping your machine clean. Every 6 months, maybe have someone take a peek at that, at least once a year at a minimum. Have someone take a peek, look for viruses, look for, any hardware issues that could cause you data loss down the line. But ultimately, yes, you should be proactive with it. Treat it like your car, treat it like you would, your home, other appliances as well. It should be, checked after and look, the maintenance should be kept up on your machine to give it the longevity.
Is that dependent upon how much you use it or how much information you're putting into it, or not really?
Both. It's how much you use them. If you're not using it very much, then it's
Maybe
not as big of a deal.
wait a little while.
Yeah, but if you have a lot of information on there and you're not backing it up, which we spoke about before, you're going to want to really keep that. Have someone taking a look at that periodically to make sure it's working efficiently.
Yeah, absolutely. So last time you were here, I remember talking to you a little bit about using wireless internet and how it's important to have a secure setting. And I always think of you when I do. But I've been having trouble, whether it's my computer or my phone, connecting to, having a good connection to a wireless access. Is there something that we can be doing for a stronger connection?
Well, I had this question out here a little bit earlier, and even at home as well. You want to invest in a pretty decent router. You get these routers that are $20, $30. They seem easy. It gives me wireless, but they don't really broadcast a very strong signal in your home.
Sure.
So, or office, or wherever you have that router. So if you can, invest in a decent router, do some research before you buy that router. It's going to give you a much more amplified signal throughout your home, and you'll be able to get a better signal.
So it's worth the extra couple bucks.
It's 100% worth it,
Yeah.
and they last a lot longer as well.
It's a case of you get what you pay for.
And 100% when it comes to routers.
Right.
Absolutely. And real quick before we go, I have a question about if you're in an area where we know smoking's bad for you, but if you're in an area where people are smoking, is that bad for your device?
Well, if it's within a wide spread area. I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but we get a lot of machines in where there's, heavy smokers or just smokers that smoke right next to their machine, and there's fans in there. So it's almost like a human lung. It collects a lot of that, tar that comes in or comes out of your cigarettes or your exhale. It collects the dust from that, and it just makes your machine slow, and it kills machines.
Totally makes sense.
I'm just trying to picture someone typing.
And it's very common.
Maybe they're still the peck typers.
right.
Well, like Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City, you know?
yeah.
You can see her there.
That's a good
right?
picture.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. Well, thank you so
course.
much
Thank
for
you for
joining
having
us,
me.
Kalal. You're the expert, and we'll need you, I'm sure, coming
you.
up. So we'll have you back. And make sure you stick around. We've learned about arts and crafts. We've learned about contemporary. When we return, Bella Domicile is going to teach us all about traditional kitchen styles. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here at the fabulous Bella Domicile, and as promised, we are speaking with the experts. Now, we've learned about arts and crafts style. Last time we were here, we learned about contemporary styles, and now we're going to learn about traditional kitchen styles. And who better to do that? We have Carly Miller joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for having us once again.
Thanks for being here.
We love being here. Gorgeous setting. There's not a shortage of things to talk about in your showroom, that's for sure.
Good.
And we're going to talk about traditional styles. So we are in a traditional kitchen. What is it that makes this traditional?
Okay, so there's a lot of things in this display that are going to be kind of that traditional style. So one of the big things is the molding detail and on the door. So you have a raised panel here. You have an applied molding that adds that detail. Another thing is even just the corbels or the posts.
Okay.
The hardware. There's a lot of little details.
All the
that you can add
details.
to
Interesting.
Traditional style.
This is a corbel. Is that what you said? I've not heard that term. Interesting. Okay, so all those little details make a difference. And let's talk a little bit about door styling too. We've talked about door styling in the other settings. What is it about the door styling that complements traditional?
Yeah, so back to the detail, right? So the traditional style has a lot of different details.
Okay.
There's just so many different door styles that you can work with in that traditional style. Again, going back to applied moldings, different profiles, different raised panel options. But you don't have to go straight with that. You can also complement it with maybe a door style that is a flat panel on an island or a different space, but it still be traditional.
Okay, interesting. So there are a lot of options within the traditional style, but some of the, yes, there's always so many options. Some of the styling's just a little bit different, and it's hard because there are so many choices. What do you do as a client when you kind of get an idea? Maybe you have a feel for, okay, I really like traditional, but how in the heck am I going to choose between all these options? What do you start doing?
Well, again, you just come in here.
Just come to see you, yes.
No, so choosing something that might inspire you. So maybe this hood is something that really that
Just
sparks
speaks to you,
your,
right?
yeah, your style. So that says, okay, you are the traditional style, and so then we can walk through then the molding details, the door styles that would be optional for you. The there's so many different little details that we can show you and kind of walk through if that's something for you, even down to just the hardware.
Right.
There's a lot.
And you have a whole room of like choices and options, and I mean it's just outstanding, everything that we can choose from. But you guys have seen a lot in what works and what works well together, so we can always lean on you as well for that expert advice. And if customers are interested, they come in, they decide that they're going to do something like this, give us some maybe takeaways about this particular, the traditional style that we should maybe be aware of.
Okay, so one of the things is symmetry. So in your traditional style, there's a lot of architectural details. That's kind of where it stems from. It's very formal. So having that symmetrical feel is important in traditional style. So that's one of the takeaways.
Yeah.
Another thing is back to that those moldings and things that we're talking
Right.
about. So dressing it up. Traditional style is very you know, it's decorative. So,
Yeah, it's a little
being
more
dressy.
ornate. Absolutely.
And then back to the same thing I keep saying is detail. So looking at the detail outside of even the cabinets, but in patterns and in maybe florals and all that kind of thing when it comes to the furnishings and the rest of the space.
So not only with the details of the actual hardware and the finishes and things, but there's actually a sort of a decorative aspect to the traditional style. All kinds of things to think about when you're when you're doing a remodel. And I kind of want to brag on you for a little bit. You guys have done so many amazing things. We've gotten to see some outstanding before and afters, and just even being here in your showroom is so impressive. We talked about some awards that you have won when we were visiting last time. But you actually recently, Bella Domicile, won Best of House 2015. So what is that all about?
This is an exciting one. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard of House. It's a website or an app, I guess, that might be a little addicting, so be careful. It's all about house stuff. So you're looking at your kitchen, or you're maybe even looking at your exterior ideas, but you can go there and find tons of inspiration. I think it's one of the best tools out there to get started on these kind of projects. But we were one of the people that just won an award for the Best of House 2015. What they do is they have their editors look at our photos and our reviews in order to pick some of the people that are best. And actually that category is less than 3% of the professionals on House, so it's a pretty prestigious award.
That's very exciting. So it has not only to do with the actual projects themselves, but it sounds like some of the feedback, some of the customer feedback of the clients that you've worked with. And I know you have a strong client base of folks who have been just amazed by your work. So this is just a really exciting thing, and a well-deserved award. So congratulations on that. And before we go, I guess give us just a couple more things about traditional style. Any little thing that you want to point out in this kitchen that may be unique that folks can take a look at? Or I know there's some different styling options I wanted to point out before we went too. Now, does this actually pull out?
Yeah, so we might add some of these traditional details and think, wow, is that stealing from the space that I have in the kitchen? Well, in this case, no. We're able to hide a spice rack behind one of these decorative options here, or even in here is another spice rack. The other side is a knife block. So though it's going to take a little bit more space to add some of those details we've been talking about, there's ways to make it functional.
I always love showing off some of the exciting little hidden treasures because it's so, and isn't that fun? We get to kind of see some of the things that you don't even know are there, but just that help customers organize and keep the style that they want.
So come in and check it out.
Come check it out. Thank you so much, Carly, our expert over here at Bella Domicile. And if you haven't been, come check out this showroom. It is absolutely fabulous off Nesbitt Road. Thanks so much. Thanks to all of our guests. Thank you for watching, and please join us next time on Girl Talk.